Ever get the feeling there's like this whole other level of connection out there, something beyond the everyday?
Oh, absolutely. Like we're just scratching the surface.
Yeah, exactly. And today we're diving deep into that idea with a blog post by Bright Garlic. It's called An Epiphany About Contact.
Interesting.
And let me tell you, this guy's definition of connection, it's definitely unique.
I can imagine. So where does he even begin with this?
Well, he starts with his childhood.
Hmm.
And forget about video games and all that. We're talking like full-on nature obsession.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
I mean, we're talking this kid is out there having conversations with geckos, mesmerized by water boatmen.
Wow, that takes me back.
Right. But it gets even more intense. He's out there risking it all to catch snakes and lizards. Like, seriously.
That's some real adventurous spirit.
No kidding. It's like those nature documentaries, but he's living it.
It's amazing how some people, even as kids, they just have that pull towards nature. Like it's calling to them.
It really is. And Garlic even quotes that saying, give me a child until he is 7 and I will give you the man.
No, yeah, I've heard that one.
It's like those early experiences, they weren't just like childhood fun for him. They were shaping his whole view of the world.
It makes you wonder, what is it about those early connections with nature that can be so powerful, you
Right.
know?
Totally. It's like when you're a kid and you're just completely present in that moment, totally absorbed.
It's pure magic.
And Garlic, he seemed to carry that feeling with him throughout his life.
I can see that. And it kind of makes those fringe activities he talks about later make more sense.
Oh, yeah, the fringe activities. I almost forgot.
Right, like at first glance, you've got writing, therapy, and then bam, fringe activities.
It sounds like a wild ride.
You said it.
Hmm.
But Garlic, he sees them all as different ways of searching for that same profound connection he found in nature as a kid.
So it's about more than just being physically near something or someone. It's like a deeper level of engagement, right?
Exactly. It's about understanding. Because you can be surrounded by people, a whole room full, and still feel utterly alone.
Ugh, tell me about it.
Right. But then there are those moments when you feel this incredible sense of unity, like with a sunset, a song.
Or even another person.
Yes. It's that feeling of tapping into something much larger than yourself, that resonance. And for Garlic, well, let's just say his search for connection took him down some very interesting paths.
Okay, now you've got to give us a little something here. What kind of interesting paths are we talking about?
Well, he talks about this experience merging with the light, he calls it.
Yeah.
It might sound a little out there,
We see?
but for him, it seems like it was really profound. Have you ever felt that kind of shift in reality where you can't even explain it?
Totally. And it always makes me think, how much are we limiting ourselves by what we consider possible?
Good question.
Because Garlic, he approaches life with this incredible openness. Like, he's willing to explore those unconventional experiences, and that's where things get really fascinating.
Hold on. Are you saying he takes this whole connection thing to a whole other level?
Oh, you have no idea. So, like, where does he go from there? This is where this whole epiphany thing happens, right?
Exactly. It's like this light bulb moment where he realizes his whole life, all those adventures, even those fringe activities,
Yay.
it's all been driven by this one deep-seated need, this urge to connect, to feel whole.
Wow. That's kind of beautiful, actually.
It is. And for Garlic, it's more than just some abstract idea. This guy's been through a lot. He talks about these major health challenges he's faced.
Oh, wow. I didn't
There's
realize.
some really serious stuff. And it seems like those experiences, especially staring down those life or death situations,
I can only imagine.
it really solidified this whole perspective for him. Like he started to see life as this shared experience with all these life forms.
And this light he keeps mentioning.
Oh yeah, that's like the glue that holds it all together. Like this universal energy, this interconnectedness.
Okay, I think I get it. Like when you look up at the stars and feel that sense of awe.
Exactly. Or when you connect with another person on this really deep level.
Like we're all part of something so much bigger.
That's it. And for Garlic, this isn't just some nice thought. It's like his reality. He goes on to list all these ways he seeks out connection. And this list is wild.
Oh, here we go, the list.
Right. It's everything from connecting with people from all walks of life, which sounds pretty normal.
Yeah, pretty standard so far.
And then bam, it's like communicating with extraterrestrial beings.
Wait, hold up. ETs, like for real.
I know, right? It's like, is this guy serious?
Yeah.
But then I remember what we were just talking about, those moments of deep connection that can really shake up your reality.
I see what you mean.
So maybe, just maybe. We shouldn't be so quick to judge.
Okay, fair enough. So he's talking to aliens. What else is on this list?
Let's see. Connecting with animals, planting trees,
Ah,
and get this, tapping into the consciousness of trees.
okay, you're messing with me, right? Trees.
I know, it sounds pretty out there, but think about it. Have you ever felt a deep connection with an animal?
Oh, totally. I swear my dog and I were on the same wavelength.
There you go. And what Garlick is saying is maybe, just maybe, that kind of connection is possible on a much bigger scale than we think.
Okay, I'm listening.
He's pushing us to really expand our definition of what it means to connect, to consider experiences that our current understanding of the world might not have room for.
So it's not just about feeling close to your dog or your cat. It's like,
It's about acknowledging the possibility of something much bigger, much more interconnected.
it's like he's saying, don't just stick to the connections you're comfortable with.
Be open to the unexpected,
The unknown.
even the seemingly impossible.
Because that's where the real magic happens.
You got it.
Yeah,
And that takes courage, wouldn't you say?
100%.
Because it means facing those things we're afraid of, those things that challenge our understanding of the world.
It's like he says, enter the window of your fear and see what's on the other side.
Exactly. And it's interesting. This idea of facing our fears, it kind of brings us to another really crucial part of Garlick's story, his own battles with life-threatening illnesses.
Yeah, you mentioned those earlier. I have to admit, I'm curious, like, how do those experiences tie into this whole connection thing?
It's like those challenges, as difficult as they were, actually deepened his understanding of this connection. Because when you're facing your own mortality, it kind of puts things in perspective.
Yeah, I bet. So it's not just about seeking out positive connections. It's about finding that connection even in the midst of.
In the midst of suffering, of fear, of uncertainty. Because even in those dark places, he's saying that connection, that light, it's still there.
It's like he's saying, don't shy away from the hard stuff. Because
Yeah.
even in the dark, that connection, it's still there.
It's a powerful way to look at it.
It really is. And it makes me think about, how we often try to avoid discomfort, like at all costs.
Right, like it's a bad thing.
Exactly. But Garlick, he's saying, no, even there, even in the midst of suffering.
That's where the real connection lies.
It kind of reminds me of like the Buddha and those teachings about enlightenment.
Oh, I see.
Like it's not about avoiding the tough stuff, but facing it head on.
It's about embracing the whole spectrum of life.
Yeah.
The good and the bad, the joy and the sorrow.
Because that's what it means to be human, right?
Exactly.
It's messy, it's complicated, it's unpredictable.
It's all connected.
So where does that leave us? I mean, we've gone from talking to geckos to like the interconnectedness of all things.
And we're right back to this idea of connection, right?
It's like this hidden thread through everything.
It is. And the question is, how do we, in our own lives, tap into that?
Because if this guy Garlick can find connection in the face of life-threatening illnesses, imagine what we could find just by opening ourselves up to the possibility.
Exactly. So maybe, just maybe, there's more to discover, not just out there in the world, but within ourselves as well. Who knows what we might find if we're willing to look.
That's something to think about. And on that note, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring.